Some runway flops vanish the moment the lights go down, but a few are so jaw-dropping, the fandom keeps them alive for years. GIFs, recap videos, even whole awards built around the chaos. In this countdown, we're going from, okay, that's rough, to how is this real? And breaking down why each look missed, the fit, the concept, the styling, and the moment the judges' faces said everything. And at number 1, a design challenge disaster so legendary it turned worst runway into drag race mythology. You'll laugh, cringe, and respect the nerve. Number 10. Aja, Princess Disaster. Aja's Princess Disaster comes from Season 9's Draggily Ever After, a design challenge where each queen created an original fairy tale princess and built the look herself. The concept was punk princess bravado, chaps, a bikini-like base, and pure confidence. But the execution didn't match. The shapes looked uneven, the finish rid rough under runway lights, and the makeup didn't lock the character in. That's why it's infamous. The imagination is right there, but the polish isn't. It's the kind of runway fans quote because the name accidentally described the result. And the glow-up proved the point. Aja later revisited the idea on All Stars 3's Redemption Realness runway. The vision was never the problem. Number 9. Serena Chacha, Hollywood Realness. Serena Chacha's infamous Hollywood Realness comes from Season 5's premiere, RuPaul's or Bust, when the queens had to turn dumpster finds into trash couture that still read Hollywood glamour. Serena went for a quirky, lederhosen-like silhouette, but the proportions swallowed her, and the styling didn't sell red carpet at all. Judges honed in on the shape and the mismatch between her painted face and her body, which made the whole thing feel unfinished on camera. She still survived the episode, Serena won the lip sync to Party in the USA, and Penetration went home. That contrast is why it lives forever. A runway flop that didn't stop her fight for the spotlight. Number 8. Kelly Mantle, Bacon Look. Kelly Mantle's bacon-inspired runway is one of those drag race images fans remember instantly because the idea is so loud you can't unsee it. She leaned into pure camp, serving breakfast couture with a dress covered in bacon strips and that classic wink of, yes, I know it's ridiculous. The problem was the elevation. On the main stage, it read more like a novelty costume than a finished fashion moment. The silhouette didn't have enough shape, the styling felt minimal, and the details didn't add up to a full fantasy. Still, it's memorable for a reason. Kelly's drag was built for comedy, character, and commitment. So even when the look didn't win, the nerve absolutely did. And from here, the misses get way more polarizing. Number 7. Silky Nutmeg Ganache, Face-kini runway. Silky Nutmeg Ganache is a queen who never plays small, and Season 11's Face-kini fantasy runway was built to reward bold choices. Silky stepped out in a face-covering mask paired with a body-forward silhouette, aiming for sexy, surreal, and unapologetic. But the pieces didn't fully connect. The mask felt more like an add-on than the centerpiece. And the finishing details weren't crisp enough to make the category read as high fashion instead of, wait, why is this here? What keeps it in Drag Race memory is the reaction it triggers, because Silky sold it like a winner, turning a wobbly look into a full-on performance moment. Even when the styling missed, the confidence hit. Number 6. Jiggly Caliente, Post-apocalyptic couture. Jiggly Caliente's apocalyptic couture runway, Season 4's premiere, is infamous because it had so many ideas fighting for attention at once. The challenge asked the queens to create post-apocalyptic looks from looted materials, and Jiggly went big. Torn textures, chaotic layering, and a survivor attitude. But on the main stage, the construction read busy instead of intentional, with pieces that didn't look fully secured or finished under the lights. That mismatch, strong energy, messy execution, is exactly why fans still bring it up. And ironically, the episode made it even more memorable. Jiggly landed in the bottom 2, then fought her way through the lip sync and stayed. One rough runway didn't define her, but it absolutely became Drag Race history. Number 5. Amanda Tori Meeting, Golden Boot Level Look. Amanda Tori Meeting's Season 16, Cracked Egg Bird's Nest runway is the kind of look people call golden boot the second it hits the stage. She went for a robin's nest fantasy, brown, twiggy textures, 3 eggs, and makeup that turned her face into the hatching egg. On paper, that's clever camp. On the runway, it read muddy, the materials looked too literal, the silhouette disappeared, and the details didn't translate from idea to wide-shot fashion. The conversation got so loud that even though season 16 didn't award an official Golden Boot on air, Amanda was later recognized with the Golden Boot at the reunion taping at DragCon LA 2024. She also explained she was finishing parts so fast after wardrobe problems. That context doesn't fix the look, but it explains the chaos. Number 4, Salina Estitties' divisive Golden Boot runway. Salina Estitties' Golden Boot moment is memorable because it wasn't a rushed design challenge build. It was a planned runway category that still didn't read cleanly. On season 15's Metallica runway, she wore a Los Angeles street lamp and street sign concept, her own girl from the streets twist on the prompt. But on camera, the prop-heavy idea overwhelmed her body and blurred the silhouette, so the theme read more city installation than metal band couture. Some fans appreciated the LA specificity and camp, but the runway asks for instantly readable glam, and this didn't. At the season 15 reunion, the cast played Toot or Boot, and the Golden Boot trophy went to Salina for that Metallica street sign look. It's a big swing with total commitment, just not a fashion translation that lands at a glance. Number 3, Maddy Morphosis. Maddy and Daddy Morphosis. Maddy and Daddy Morphosis runway is infamous because it's the rare look that feels like a sketch that accidentally made it to the stage. The concept was clear, a tongue-in-cheek family resemblance gag, with Maddy presenting both herself and a matching dad persona in one outfit. Comedy drag can absolutely win a runway when it still reads polished. But here, the construction and proportions did her no favors. The shapes felt bulky, the styling didn't sharpen the joke, and the silhouette came off clunky instead of intentional. That's why it became such an easy target for fandom boot lists. It looks like the punchline needed one more rewrite. The saving grace is Maddy's confidence. She never pretended it was couture. She sold it as character work, which is why people remember it at all. Number 2, Kandy Muse, Haute Pockets. Kandy Muse is a season 13 powerhouse, loud, funny, and never afraid to take up space, but her Haute Pockets runway became infamous for the wrong reasons. She even returned years later as an All-Stars 8 finalist, which makes the contrast even funnier. The category hit in episode 13, Henny, I Shrunk the Drag Queens. And the brief was simple, fashion with pockets as the feature. Kandy's look stacked pockets on pockets until the silhouette went boxy and confusing, like utility wear swallowed the outfit. Critics called it one of the season's most baffling runways, especially next to her stronger concepts later on. Still, the impact is undeniable. Years later, season 17's Lana Ri borrowed the actual pockets dress and wore it for an ugly runway moment, turning Kandy's flop into a hand-me-down legend. That's Drag Race. Even the boots become heirlooms. And the top 2 on this list? They're the kind of disasters you can picture before you even blink. Number 1, Lala Ri, Bag Ball Eleganza. Lala Ri's Bag Ball Eleganza is the benchmark because it happened in a challenge built for creativity and still somehow looked like the clock ate her alive. In season 13, episode 5, The Bag Ball, the queens had to present 3 bag-themed looks, ending with a final outfit made entirely from bags. Lala's final reveal was brutally simple, a basic black bodysuit with colorful gift bags attached across her chest and hips. The silhouette didn't change, the construction didn't read intentional, and the bags looked like they were waiting to fall off mid-walk. Critics summed it up as exactly what it was, bags hot glued to a bodysuit because there wasn't a hidden trick or elevated finish to save it. But here's why it's number 1. It didn't just flop, it became Drag Race vocabulary. The show and fandom basically invented an award for this level of runway chaos, the Golden Boot. And Lala's bag ball look is the origin story people point to. It's the Drag Race tragedy. Lala is a performer's performer, but the runway is a still photo in motion, and this one couldn't hide. And the wild part, Lala owned it so well that years later she was still joking about bag looks in interviews, because the flop outlived the episode. Honorable mentions because Drag Race has a whole museum of almost made the list moments. There's the runway where the concept is cute, but the fit is tragic. Corset gapping, hips bunching, straps doing parkour. There's the hot glue couture, where every seam looks like a secret. There's the category miss. The prompt says eleganza, but the outfit screams, I built this in the hotel. There's the styling crime. A stunning garment paired with a wig line that starts a civil war, or shoes that look exhausted. Also, the quick wig swap that shows, the hem that unravels mid-walk, and makeup that fights the stage lighting. None of these queens are untalented. These are just the nights where the clock wins, nerves hit, and the runway camera refuses to be kind. And honestly, the fandom keeps receipts because the flops remind us drag is live, risky, and human for the culture every single time. So yeah, some of these looks are rough, but they're also proof of what makes Drag Race addictive. Big swings, high pressure, and the nerve to walk out anyway, even when you know it's crunchy. If you're enjoying this countdown, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell, because we've got more Drag Race deep dives coming. Drop your personal worst runway pick in the comments, and be nice. The boots are funny, the artists are the moment. Thanks for watching, always.